Hey everyone, it's Lala from Lala Crochet Boutique. Believe it or not, all parts of this cute amigurumi are joined by crochet only. Christmas is just around the corner and everyone knows someone who would love this as a handmade gift. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for new crochet tutorials every Monday. Grab your hooks, let's get started! We're gonna take our hook and our color A yarn. I'm using the red, I'm making the Santa version. I'm gonna start by making a magic ring or any other magic ring alternative that you use. And work 8 single crochets into the magic ring. And 8. Close the magic ring and join the round with a slip stitch into the first single crochet of the round and chain 1. This was round 1. For round 2 we're going to increase a round, so instead of 8 single crochets we're going to have 16 at the end of round 2. When you're done, again join the round with a slip stitch and chain 1 into the first single crochet of the round. And for round 3, we're going to start by working 1 single crochet, move to the next stitch and work an increase. And this is the pattern that we're going to repeat until the end of the round. 1 single crochet, move to the next stitch and work an increase. At the end of round 3, we'll have 24 stitches. I'm gonna finish round 3 off camera and I'll see you back again at the end of the round. We're gonna join the round by a slip stitch into the first single crochet and chain 1. To start round 4, work 1 single crochet into the first single crochet of the round, move to the next stitch and work an increase. Then we're going to work 2 single crochets, one after the other, and then we're going to work an increase. Excluding the first 2 stitches, we're going to repeat this pattern until we have 1 stitch left. So 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, and then an increase until we have 1 stitch at the end of the round. 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, increase. I'm going to continue round 4 off camera and I'll meet you back again at the end of the round when we have 1 stitch left. 1 last increase, and when we have 1 stitch left, we're going to work 1 single crochet into that 1 stitch. Now it's the time to count your round and make sure that you have 32 stitches, and if you do, you can join the round with a slip stitch and chain 1. For round 5, you're going to start by working 1 single crochet. And from now on until the end of the round, we're going to work in back loops only. So if you're having trouble identifying the 2 loops one from another, you can see my screen right now where you have this little darker shade in the middle that separates the front loop from the back loop. So we're going to insert our hook in between those loops and work a single crochet into the back loop. Move to the next stitch and again, single crochet into the back loop only. Continue working your single crochets back loop only until you get to the end of the round. Make sure to count your stitches to be sure you have 32 stitches and no stitch was left behind. Now we're gonna join the round by a slip stitch and chain 1 as usual. And this was round 5. For round 6, have your color be this light brown color ready next to you. We're going to use it in a bit. And we're going to start round 6 by working 11 single crochets in the same color, color A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next, for the 11th stitch, you're going to start working it, but you're not going to finish it. Yarn over into the loop, and when you have 2 loops on your hook, you're going to grab light brown color, the color B, place it on the hook, and insert it into the 2 loops. And this is how we change color. And now the active color is going to be the color B yarn, not the red one, the new one. Next, we're going to work a bubble stitch. We're going to work into the next stitch, yarn over, into the loop, yarn over, into the loop, yarn over into the left 2 loops only, and repeat this step 3 more times. One last time until you have 5 loops on your hook. Now we're going to work 7 more single crochets in color A. How do we turn to color A? We're going to drop the color B yarn. Whoops, that's the magic ringtail. Yarn over into all 5 loops. Then we're going to work with our yarn 7 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and again the 7th stitch you're not going to finish. We're going to start. When we have 2 loops on our hook, we're going to switch again to the color B yarn. So grab the color B yarn, this will be our active yarn right now. Yarn over into the loops and work a bubble stitch into the next stitch just like we did before. So yarn over into the loop, yarn over into the loop, yarn over into the 2 loops, and repeat 3 more times. Now that you have 5 loops on your hook, you're going to drop color B yarn and take back color A yarn, yarn over into the 5 loops, and continue working single crochets with color A until the end of the round. This will be 12 stitches. 11 and 12. Join the round with a slip stitch into the first single crochet of the round and chain 1. For the next round, round 7, we're simply going to single crochet around, nothing special, 32 stitches in the round. 1 stitch, 1 single crochet into each single crochet of the previous round, or bubble stitch. Don't forget that this one is a stitch, just single crochet into it as you would do with any other stitch. I'll finish my round off camera and I'll meet you back again at the end of the round. And one last single crochet, join the round with a slip stitch and chain 1. And now grab a stitch marker and secure the last loop. Make sure that you have 32 stitches around, and I recommend cutting off this color B yarn, the light brown, since we don't need it right now and we're gonna have another color into the party, so we don't want the yarns to get tangled. Place back the hook and attach color C, which is the white if you are doing the Santa like me. Wrap it around the hook and into the loop we just did. And now we're going to start slip stitching around with color C. So simply work one slip stitch into each stitch in the previous round. It's better to use the stitch marker, so we'll make sure this is our first slip stitch. Just like this. I'm going to finish my slip stitch around. I'm going to finish the slip stitches round off camera and I'll meet you back again at the end of the round. Now that our round is done, take out the stitch marker and slip stitch into the first slip stitch we did and chain 1. Next we're going to work one single crochet into the first single crochet of the round, and from now on we're going to work into the back loops only. When you're working with a white color yarn, it can be a little bit challenging, so the best way to do it is just insert the hook into the stitch, no matter if you see the loops or not, and you're going to get it pretty fast. So let's finish round 9, single crocheting into the back loops, and I'll see you back again at the end of the round. When you get to stitch number 15 in this round, in round 9, grab another stitch marker. It's not a must, but it will help you later. And mark it on the bottom of the stitch, not on the top. It will really help us later when we're going to embroider the belt. So I'm gonna finish my round off camera and I'll meet you back again at the end of the round. When we're done with round 9, we're going to insert our hook into the first single crochet of the round, yarn over into the loop and slip stitch, and we're going to drop color C and take back into our hand the tail of color A. Work one chain with color A and we're good to go. For round 10 we're going to work a round of slip stitching around with color A. So go into the first single crochet of the round and work a slip stitch, and do the same for any other stitch in the round. Again, very recommended to use a stitch marker for the first slip stitch. So let's complete round 10, slip stitching around, and I'll meet you back again at the end of the round. Let's work our last slip stitch. Take out the stitch marker and slip stitch into the first slip stitch of the round. Chain 1. Now you can take out the hook, place the stitch marker on the last loop, and we can also cut off color C Bring back the hook. Work one single crochet into the first slip stitch of the round. You can also bring back the stitch marker if you'd like. And from now on, we're going to work again into the back loops only. So with red, it's going to be a little bit easier. But again, if you're having trouble, just insert the hook into the stitch and you'll get the loop separated immediately. I'm going to finish the round off camera. And again, I'll meet you back at the end of the round. When we finish the round, we're going to take out the stitch marker if you used one. Slip stitch into the first single crochet of the round. And chain 1. On round 12, we're going to work our second set of legs. So we're going to start by working 14 single crochets. (11, 12, 13), and the 14th stitch we're not going to finish it, we're going to leave it like this, and like before, we're going to take our color B yarn, wrap it around the hook, wrap it around the hook into the 2 loops, and we're going to work a bubble stitch again. So yarn over into the loop, yarn over into the loop, yarn over into the 2 left loops only, and repeat 3 more times. When we have 5 loops on our hook, we're going to drop color B yarn, take back into our hand color A, and into all 5 loops. Next, we're going to work 6 single crochets and not going to finish the last single crochet because we're going to change color again. It's going to be easier if you take the yarn with you, so single crochet over the tail of yarn B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you have 2 loops on your hook. Drop color A yarn, take back into your hand color B, and yarn over into the 2 loops. Work a bubble stitch again. And 4. When you have 5 loops on your hook, drop color B, take back color A, and into all loops. And let's finish the round with 10 single crochets in color A yarn. Join the round with a slip stitch and chain 1. And this was round 12. Isn't it cute already? Now is the time to take our scissors and cut off color B yarn. For round 13, we're simply going to single crochet around with color A yarn. So insert the hook back into the last loop and simply work 1 single crochet into each single crochet of the previous round. I'm going to finish the round off camera and I'll meet you back again at the end of the round. Working the last single crochet of the round. Join the round with a slip stitch and chain 1. And now what I want you to do is take out the hook, grab the stitch marker and place the stitch marker into the first single crochet of the round, the one we just slip stitched into. It will help us later. Grab the scissors, cut off the yarn, insert back the hook, and pull the yarn
to fasten off. We're going to work a slip knot with color B yarn. Place it on the hook. Insert it where we place the stitch marker so we won't get confused. And now when the two are together, you can take out the stitch marker. Now you're going to yarn over into the loop, and when you have two loops on your hook, you're going to grab the left one into the right one, like this. And this is our first slip stitch of the round. Grab back the stitch marker and mark the first slip stitch. It tends to disappear. So next we're simply going to slip stitch around with color B yarn. "32 slip stitches until the end of the round, and I'll see you back again at the end. One last slip stitch. Yeah, that's the last one. Take out the stitch marker and slip stitch into the first slip stitch of the round. Whoop. Chain 1. And as we did before, first you're going to work 1 single crochet into the first slip stitch of the previous round. Mark it with a stitch marker. And from now on, we're going to work a single crochet into each of the slip stitches, but into the back loop only. So insert your hook between the loops, and you'll soon see that it's very easy to separate them. So let's complete round 15, 32 single crochets back loop only, except for the first one, of course. And we're gonna meet back again at the end of the round. Gonna work 1 last single crochet. Of course, that I recommend counting your stitches to make sure you have 32 stitches around. Take out the stitch marker and join the round with a slip stitch in chain 1. To start round 16, you're going to grab color D yarn, the dark brown yarn, to be close to you because we're going to use it later. And we're going to start by working 14 single crochets. And we're gonna start the single crochet number 14, but we're not going to finish it because we're going to change color. So start. When you have 2 loops on your hook, drop color B yarn, grab color D, wrap it around the hook and into the 2 loops. Grab color D to be your active yarn and start working 2 single crochets. 1, 2, and we're gonna make the 3rd one but not finish it. I'm gonna change color back to color B yarn. So grab the color B yarn, the light brown, and into the loops. Next, you're going to work 1 single crochet. Start the 2nd one but don't finish it. Drop color B yarn and grab color D and finish the single crochet with the dark brown. Next, work 2 more single crochets in color D. 1, 2. Start working the 3rd one but don't finish it. We're gonna drop color D and take back color B. Finish the single crochet. And next we're going to single crochet all the way to the end of the round. It's supposed to be 10 single crochets. And join the round with a slip stitch and chain 1. This is the start of the face. Start round 17 by working 14 single crochets, 13 full single crochets, and leave the last one unfinished. And 14, drop color B yarn and take back color D. Wrap it around the hook and into the 2 loops, make it a little bit more loose here. And now we're going to work 8 single crochets in color D yarn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Don't finish the 8th stitch. We're going to drop color D and change back to color B yarn. Finish the single crochet and continue working single crochets until the end of the round. 9 and 10. Join the round with a slip stitch and chain 1 as usual. To start round 18, we're going to work 16 single crochets, 15 full ones, and then leave the last one unfinished. And the 16th one is going to be unfinished. Drop color B yarn, take color D, again work it loosely into the 2 loops and work 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and work another one but don't finish it. Drop color D, take back to your hand color B and finish the single crochet. And next we're just going to complete the round with 12 single crochets. And join the round with a slip stitch and chain 1. Woo! This is our pug's face forming up. Next you can cut off the color D yarn with your scissors. Next, for round 19 and 20, we're simply going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch, simply single crocheting around until we get to the end of round 20. So let's work 2 rounds of single crocheting around, and I'll meet you back again at the end of round 20. On round 21, we're going to work on the ears, which is probably the most complicated thing about this pattern. But don't be afraid, we're going to work this through together. And it's not that complicated, don't worry. We're going to start by working 12 single crochets. Start working another single crochet, but don't finish it. We're going to grab color D yarn and wrap it around the hook to change color. And you're going to work 6 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to start working horizontally like this. Starting from the second chain from the hook, we're going to skip this one and work into this one. We're going to work a single crochet. So 1 single crochet. We're going to move over to the next one and work a half double crochet. Move to the next stitch and work another half double crochet. And 2 double crochets in each of the next 2 chains. 1 and the last one. Whoop. Next, you're going to return back to round 20 and skip 2 stitches. So 1, 2, and you're going to insert your hook into the next one, like this. Next, you're going to drop color D, grab back color B, and insert the hook with color B into the loop of last color D. Chain 1 to secure, and here we have our cute little bumpy ear. If you ever owned a pug, you know that's the softest thing in the world. Okay, we're going back to working on the stitches of round 20. So go back into that last stitch you just worked into and work a single crochet. Next, you're going to work 7 single crochets and another single crochet, but don't finish it because we're going to change color to color D again. 7 single crochets and another half done single crochet. Drop the yarn, grab color D into the 2 loops, and again we're going to chain 6, and here we have our cutest ears. Chain 1 for security and work a single crochet into the stitch that we just worked into, and continue working 6 more single crochets until the end of the round. Join the round with a slip stitch and chain 1. Don't worry about those little gaps, we're gonna fill them in right now. Next, we can just grab our scissors and cut off the color D yarn, the dark brown yarn. We won't need it anymore for this pattern. And what we're going to do next for round 22 is single crocheting around, but bear it with me, we're going to fill in the gaps of the ears. So we're simply going to place 1 single crochet in each stitch until we get to the ears. Okay, don't go into the ear like me. If you fold up the ear, you will see that we have 2 stitches here, 1 and 2, these 2 stitches. We're going to fold the ear towards us and insert our hook into the first stitch there and into the second one. The 2 of round, not 21, but 20. And then when we're done, we're simply going to continue working on the stitches of round 21. Let's do that again. We're going to see which ones are our stitches. Make sure you identify them. Then into the first one and into the second one. Then just proceed working the stitches on top of the stitches of round 21. Let's join our round. Count your stitches and make sure that you have 32 stitches in a round. To have the ears extra secure, you can just take both yarn details and just make a simple shoelace tie. Of course that it's breaking because it's chenille yarn. Alright, next what we're going to do is start round 23 by working 2 single crochets and then an invisible, and then work an invisible decrease. What we're going to do next to start round 23 is starting with 2 single crochets followed by an invisible decrease. This is what we're going to follow until we reach the end of the round. This will bring us down from 32 stitches to 24. Say hello to my cat who just joined us. I'm gonna work the last decrease and join the round. Next, you're gonna grab the stitch marker and secure the last loop, because now we're going to place the safety eyes and fill up the body. So you're gonna grab your safety eyes in any color that you like. So we're gonna grab our safety eyes We're gonna grab our safety eyes. I chose this sparkly silver because it really suits the Christmas theme for me. And we're gonna place the eye right next to this 3-4 brown stitches between row 18 and 19, right here. This will be the first one, and the other one is going to be 5 to 6 stitches apart, right here. Cute! So this part is optional. You don't have to add a nose and the belt, but if you want some more details, follow me. What you're going to do is grab a darning needle and a black thread. You're going to insert the black thread into the needle to make a double thread. Doesn't have to be too long, let's say 15 inches long, 40 centimeters long. Cut off the yarn, make a little knot. You can add a double knot to make sure it's not going to get out of any stitch. All right, now we're going to insert the darning needle from inside on top of this row of row 18, sorry. And we're going to simply pass the needle back and forth a few times. Make sure that the yarn is not twisted. Just like this. Yes. We're gonna do it a few more times. And that's it, that's our nose. Look at how cute it is. Next, we're going to insert the darning needle back inside. Grab the scissors, cut off the yarn. Make a little knot just to make sure that it's not going to release itself. And we have our nose. Make another double thread to make the belt. And remember when I said that it will be very helpful for us to mark the stitch. So now we're going to use this mark. You're going to insert your darning needle right above this stitch. Make sure that the yarn isn't twisting, and insert the darning needle back under the white line. And then you're going to take out the needle 4 stitches away, like this. If the yarn is not even, you can simply just adjust it a little bit. Then do the same. Insert the darning needle into the top of the stitch and out of the starting point, like this. Amazing. We don't need the stitch marker anymore, actually. You can take it out. Next, we're going to insert our darning needle into this spot right here and take it out from the bottom point of the same black line. And the final one, simply insert your darning needle to this point right here. And just take it out from inside of the body, like this. And our belt is done. Again, cut off the yarn. To make it even extra secure, you can tie it with the other black yarn that we use to make the nose. Just make sure that it's not too tight so the body won't get smudged. Now is the time to grab the stuffing material and fluff it a little bit so it gets a nice shape inside the body. And just start filling in the pug from the bottom up. Don't fill it all the way to the top. We still have 2 more rows to go, so we're gonna do it later. We take out the stitch marker and bring back our hook. And what we're going to do next is work 1 single crochet. And next we're going to work a decrease. And this is the pattern that we're going to repeat until the end of the round. 1 single crochet, 1 decrease. 1 single crochet, 1 decrease. Let's repeat that until the end of the round, and I'll see you back again at the end of the round. Let's join our round and start the last round. How exciting! Okay, so for the first stitch of round 25, we're going to work a regular decrease because it's very hard to do it after the join. And I highly recommend marking this first decrease. It tends to disappear. And next we're going to work 7 invisible decreases, which I like better. So simply work decreases around. All right, let's join the round. Take out the stitch marker, join the round, and now is the time to fill it up a little bit to the top. See, we have this space here, we want to fill it. Just use your finger, and when we like the shape, we're simply going to cut off the yarn and fasten off. Leave a long tail for sewing, something like 7 inches. Cut off the yarn. Bring back the hook. Fasten off and grab your darning needle to close this gap on the top. So the way I like to do it is simply go to the opposite stitch and just insert the darning needle to the next one to make some sort of a pentagon shape. It doesn't really have to be a pentagon, just as long as the gap is closed. And when you're done, you're simply going to hide the tail inside the body. You can use the butt of the darning needle to push it inside, or you can just cut it. I always like to put it inside. I think it makes it more secure. And we're almost done. Let's make the hat, and our pug is almost done. To make the hat, we're gonna grab our hook and yarn, the color A yarn, and start by making a magic ring. If you're using a chenille yarn, please do it carefully, or use any alternative for a magic ring that you use, which works for you. And we're gonna start by working 4 single crochets into the magic ring. When you have 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets, join the round with a slip stitch and chain 1. For round 2, we're going to work 1 single crochet followed by an increase, and repeat that in the last 2 stitches. 1 single crochet followed by an increase. This brought us up from 4 single crochets to 6, and we're going to join the round into the first single crochet of the round and chain 1. Next, we're going to simply single crochet around, place 1 single crochet on top of each stitch, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and join the round. Whoop. And join the round. Next, we're going to work 2 single crochets and then work an increase. We're going to do that one more time. 2 single crochets followed by an increase. Join the round. Then we're going to go up from 8 stitches to 12, so we're going to work 1 single crochet followed by an increase, and we're going to repeat this pattern until the end of the round. 1 single crochet, next an increase. Join the round, slip stitch and chain 1. Next, we're going to single crochet 2 and then work an increase. And this is the pattern that we're going to repeat until the end of the round. 2 single crochets followed by an increase. Next, you're going to join the round, of course, chain 1, grab a stitch marker and place it on the first single crochet of the round. It will help us later to identify this stitch. Make sure that you have 16 single crochets in the round, and then you can just cut off the yarn, pull the hook, and fasten off. Next, you're going to grab color C, which is the white yarn, work a slip knot and place it on the hook. Insert the hook into the same stitch that we placed the stitch marker into. Insert the hook into the first single crochet of the round, which we marked with a stitch marker. Then you can take out the stitch marker and grab the white yarn as your active yarn and work a single crochet. You can mark it because white yarn is pretty difficult to work with. Next, we're going to work 2 more single crochets in addition to the first one we did, basically 3, and then work an increase, 1 and 2. And this is the pattern that we're going to repeat until the end of the round. 3 single crochets, and then an increase. I'm going to finish my round off camera and I'll meet you back again to fasten off the work. And one last increase. Join the round into the first single crochet of the round, slip stitch and chain 1. Next, we're going to cut off the yarn and leave somewhat long tail, not too much. I'm going to use it later. Pull the hook You're going to cut off these tails from the connection between the yarns, but leave the magic tail yarn. Do not cut it. And now for the last part, we're going to place the little cute Santa hat on the pug. I'm going to use a darning needle. Grab the magic ring tail, the tail that's left from the magic ring, which we did not cut. And if you are like me, wanted on the side of the head, just pick a point somewhere here, insert the darning needle and let it out somewhere else, preferably on the back. Next, take the second tail, insert the needle into the closest and let the darning needle out the same spot which we let the red color yarn out. When both tails are from the same exiting point, you can make a little shoelace tie, even twice to make it more secure, and simply push it inside the body. And this is it, guys. Our Christmas pug is ready. I really hope that you liked it and you'll give it to someone you love as a Christmas gift or as any gift because it's super cute all year long. If you like this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribe to my channel. I upload a new crochet tutorial every Monday. See you next Monday!